Can self-signed SSL certificate be renewed? How? I'm fairly new to SSL certificates and would like to know if a self-signed certificate which I use for HTTPS can be renewed to extend its expiry date without all clients of the site having to go through the allow exception process they have to do when they visit the site for the very first time, or, as when issuing new self-signed certificate created from scratch. I found the following tutorial showing how to renew a self-signed cert using openssl, but I wasn't able to use it such that my browser silently accepts it without showing that untrusted site warning screen. My setup is pretty much as described in this answer, and I am using CRT and key files from this tutorial instead of a PIM file, so maybe I messed something up trying to apply it to my case. Then again, I found many forum entries suggesting it is entirely impossible to renew a self-signed cert and I have to create a new one from scratch. Any help would be appreciated. Or would this question better be suited to this URL or this URL?
By definition, a self-signed certificate can be trusted only through direct trust, i.e. what web browsers like Firefox show as the allow exception process. One very specific certificate, down to the last bit, is declared as trusted. Nothing can be changed in a certificate without exiting from this model, and, in particular, the expiry date, which is part of the data contained in the certificate. You can imagine renewal as a kind of family thing. When a certificate is renewed, it is actually replaced by a younger sibling. Clients accept the new certificate silently because it shares the same ancestry as the previous certificate. Self-signed certificates are intrinsic orphans, they have no ancestry. Hence, no sibling, and no automatic transmission. Apart from this ancestry thing, renewal is the creation of a new certificate. Certificates are immutable. Renewal is a way of thinking about the relationship between the old and the new certificates. If you want to be able to do silent renewals, then you need a self-signed CA certificate. You emit certificates for your servers from that CA, and you ask your clients to trust that CA. Of course, this is asking a lot. A CA that you trust is a CA that can fake the whole internet in your eyes. Basically, this solution is about creating and maintaining your own CA, which is a responsibility and some work. Next time you produce a self-signed certificate, make it long-lived. Certificates expire mostly in order to make revocation work. Certificate expiry prevents CRL from growing indefinitely. For a self-signed certificate, there is no revocation, so you can make the certificate valid for 20 years. Or for 2000 years, for that matter, although the year 2038 problem might show up at some point, depending on the client software.
Short answer, no. Trusting a self-signed certificate is like trusting an individual passport instead of the country issuing that passport. If you get a new passport, it will not be automatically trusted by someone who trusted the old one, specifically because it is a different thing with different attributes, passport number, dates, etc. There is no basis for someone explicitly trusting the old passport to know the new one can be trusted.
If you're using self-signed certificates, I recommend using SSL on Windows. You simply can set the expiry date to 7999/12/31, that's the maximum time for UTC, and the initial date to January 1, 1970 for compatibility with misconfigured time/date in pieces.
I just updated a self-signed cert for use by postfix/Delphbot server and Thunderbird client. T-Bird did not fuss. When I created the original cert, I created the key file. It was stored on the server as /etc/SSL/private/cert_name_key.pem. When I made the new cert, I used the old key and did CSR generation and PEM generation using the same two command lines, with appropriate name changes, as the op used from the tutorial.